let me just make something to Senator Portman clear. Since I'm chairing this, I'll ask questions last, and Senator Schatz has to make a flight, and Senator Risch has to go to the floor to make a speech. So you're going to be asking the first questions if you can stay. And I don't know if you're catching a flight.
I've got to leave here about 4:35.
Okay. Well, yeah. Mr. Glick.
Good afternoon, Chairman Franken, Ranking Member Risch, members of the subcommittee, and especially to our dear friend, Senator Schatz, and quite a energy-savvy senator. Thank you for inviting me to testify before you today about Hawaii's innovative efficiency and renewable energy policies, and to identify opportunities the federal government can take to support job creation and innovation at the state and local level. My written testimony goes into more detail about all of those issues, and offers other examples of state leadership that might inform your deliberations, featuring both Republican and Democratic state administrations. I'll be happy to address any questions you might have afterwards. By deploying clean energy and attracting test-bedded investments and innovation, Hawaii is creating a clean energy cluster that is a leading source of new construction expenditures and green jobs. For example, distributed PV installations accounted for 28.5% of all construction expenditures in Hawaii in 2012, as we reached second place in the nation for solar PV installations per capita. Now, at the heart of our energy and economic transformation is a bold policy agenda and coalition of energy stakeholders called the Hawaii Clean Energy Initiative. Starting with a partnership between the state and the U.S. Department of Energy in 2008, the Hawaii legislature adopted the nation's strongest Renewable Portfolio Standard, RPS, in 2009, requiring 40% of our electricity to be generated from renewable sources by 2030. Hawaii also adopted an Energy Efficiency Portfolio Standard in the same year, requiring 4,300 gigawatts of energy by 2030 to be reduced for power generation, roughly a 40% reduction in electricity use from 2007 levels. Now, we've made significant progress. When the 2013 figures are released, we expect our renewable portfolio standard to be at 18%, which means we will have surpassed by 3% the 2015 interim goals 2 years early. Now, in efficiency, Hawaii has led the nation for 2 consecutive years in the value of our energy savings performance contracts. I'm pleased to report that Hawaii has recently executed $167 million in 2 energy savings performance contracts, one that covers 12 airports statewide that will save at least $518 million over the next 20 years, and is the largest single performance contract by any single state agency in the nation. In 2013, Governor Abercrombie proposed and gained passage of Senate Bill 1087, a measure designed by the Hawaii State Energy Office, my office, that combines a rate reduction securitized bond structure and on-bill financing to enable a broader base of electric utility customers to acquire a renewable energy system or energy efficiency device. When it's rolled out by year end, we expect the Green Energy Market Securitization, also known as GEMS, program to make energy improvements more affordable and accessible to Hawaii's underserved markets, such as low and moderate income homeowners, renters, and nonprofits. Now, for Hawaii, connecting our grids is an essential ingredient in going beyond 40% renewable penetration. It's a commitment to exceed our nation-leading RPS made by Governor Abercrombie last year. A major policy achievement towards that end was passage of Senate Bill 2785, establishing a regulatory framework and financing structure for inter-island transmission cable development. Analysis commissioned by the Hawaii State Energy Office with SEP funding and US DOE support has demonstrated that unifying the Oahu and Maui grids with an undersea transmission cable will expand renewable penetration, lower electricity rates, enhance grid stability, and reduce curtailment of renewable energy. Now, some of our suggestions for federal action. Since 2010, state energy program funding has provided Hawaii with $1.2 million, helping us move the needle on our key metrics, RPS, EEPS, the Energy Efficiency Portfolio Standard, and job growth. SEP has supported the State Energy Office's capability and leadership in regulatory proceedings, building efficiency, systems and infrastructure analysis, and energy assurance planning, and it should continue to do so. The U.S. State Energy Program is the only program administered by the U.S. Department of Energy that delivers cost-shared formula funding directly to the states and allows each state to target funds to meet their needs. That flexibility has contributed to the program's long-term success. In conclusion, the state of Hawaii strongly supports SEP, and we urge Congress to continue your vigorous support for this engine of economic transformation. Thank you for this opportunity to highlight Hawaii's clean energy agenda and offer suggestions on how future SEP funding can contribute to economic growth and innovation for Hawaii and the nation.
Thank you, Mr. Glick, and I think as everyone realizes, Hawaii is a little isolated, and renewable energy is a big piece of that portfolio. I think your electricity costs are about 3 times that of the average, right?
That's correct.
So thank you for your testimony. Thank you for mentioning your great work with energy saving performance contracts, which brings us to Mr. Clark, who is the Senior Vice President, General Manager of a energy service company. Please, Mr. Clark. Which is what Mr. Rogers was saying, that they're flexible, not overly prescriptive, but they're all learning from each other. Mr. Glick, Mr. Rothman, Mr. Taylor, you want to talk about what your successes and challenges in implementing your standards have been in your states?
Sure, Chairman Franklin. In Hawaii, what we've noticed is that success has raised a lot of challenges. So we have now a number of circuits which were overloaded. Hawaiian Electric estimates that 20 or 30% of circuits on Oahu, our population center, are overloaded. So most of our work today is how do we solve those problems? How do we work to create better renewable penetration? So a lot of our solutions now are looking to short-term efforts, the things that we can use in the SEP or state energy.
When you mean overloaded, you mean your base load doesn't meet high demand at peak hours or something? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I understood.
Sure. It means that at certain times of the day, we may be exceeding peak penetration levels by, we may have 120% of our capacity that's overloaded. That means we curtail renewable energy because we have too much producing at that time. We also have reduced demand because of our energy portfolio standard and because of conservation efforts. So it's a matter of balance.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your output is exceeding your need.
That's right. I
see what you're saying. Now, are you doing any kind of things like storage in order to deal with that?
Immediately, there are smart inverters that can help ease some of the burden. And other technical fixes that can happen either at the residential or at the utility level. But the medium-term fixes include a lot of energy storage, pump storage strategies that are being pursued in Kauai, Maui, on Oahu. And long-term, combining our grids, because we are unique in the sense that we have 6 independent grids. Just the combination of unifying the Maui and Oahu grids could increase overall penetration by another 53 megawatts because of the redundancy in the system that it will eliminate.
And that's laying a cable?
It's an undersea cable.
On
basically,
the ocean floor? Or?
Yeah, that's right. Which have been done throughout the world.
Right.
So over 50 instances of successful undersea cables.
Okay. Either Commissioner Rothman or Director Taylor.